Hey, how you doing? This is Jason here with another episode. How to move to Thailand the smart way, the right way, but mostly the strategic way. First of all, I would like to thank you guys. This channel is growing pretty fast beyond our wildest dream. And before we kind of get into the topic, I would appreciate if you guys can, give a like and subscribe. Let the algorithm know that you guys are really, really enjoying this content. It's very appreciative for us. Um, Obviously, you see, we're not monetized, so we are just essentially trying to give people some great information and kind of planning their life abroad the smart way. I would just like to say I appreciate you guys, and thank you once again. And also, we offer an ebook on helping people how to move to Thailand, right? This ebook has saved people thousands of dollars. People been in different situations where they're looking for different remote jobs because you need to take care of yourself abroad, right? So if you're looking for, potential remote jobs, the ebook kind of cover these things and how to savings from everything from beginning to end. So I highly suggest check out ebook How to Move to Thailand, or if you'd like to donate to the channel, the links are in our channel as well. So appreciate that. So now let's talk about the cost of moving to Thailand without running out of money, right? And I know, right, most things are about the beaches and this and that and, sipping, and relaxing on the beach. But this is more of to having an understanding where you can do those things, but more in a smart way and understanding. So I actually kind of took some notes. I wrote some notes on things that you need to be mindful, and I hope this is going to be great for you guys. So, understanding the monthly budget, right? So, people come here and say, "Oh, I thought I could live on $1,000 a month," right? Until I tried living like a normal person and not like a backpacker, right? So most of you guys are not backpackers, right? You guys in your 40s, maybe semi-retired, retired, are looking to be retired, or even looking to retire early, right? So these are the things you have to look out for. So the thing is, how about running your AC 24/7, right? Because Thailand is pretty hot year round. So most likely, compared to the West, we have our different seasons, versus aircon and heat and all that stuff. So let's talk about running the AC 24/7, how that can add up. That bill can add up really quick. Be mindful of that, keeping your AC on 24/7, right? A decent apartment in a great neighborhood, right? The same thing, right? Things can be affordable here. You can find things on the low end, but a lot of us, we came here to live a really pretty good life, right? Living our rich life. So we want to live in the best neighborhood and find the best things, right? So that's all going to come with a bigger cost. Let's be honest on that, right? Now, let's talk about a medical insurance. Yes, medical insurance is cheaper here, but it still comes with a cost. And some people may be coming to Thailand with pre-existing conditions, right? That's things you should look out for. Obviously, definitely talk to your medical advisor on what all that will look like, but understanding what's the best insurance that's going to cover you to making sure you are taking care of yourself and you are being safe. So highly suggest check out, medical, service provider, or we actually use Safety Wing, which is you can check the link out. They were a great tool to me. I was in a jam where I had to go to the hospital, and Safety Wing actually covered me, and they were pretty fast on reimbursing me, meaning I had to pay up front and then they reimburse me. So that's another thing you have to make sure you have cash in the bank for. Take note of that. Also, gym, right? Of course, you want to have a beautiful building with a gym, maybe high speed Wi-Fi. Obviously, these things are going to add up on the amenities, having all these things. Can it be a more affordable, and is it more affordable back in the States? But yes, absolutely. But think about it. You are living your rich life. So we want to find the things. We came here to thrive and live our best life, right? not to downgrade our life, just to relocate, if that makes sense. We're not looking to downgrade, we're looking to upgrade our life, right? Because we're going to a more cost effective country. So if you want more realistic numbers and understanding, we have a free quiz that could kind of break down your, your monthly costs, your budget you should be looking for, that things can make more sense. So you guys can take a quiz. We offer that in on our channel. You'll see the link. You can find the link as well, and that's going to be a helpful tool to you guys. Now, let's talk about the visa traps that actually drain your wallet. So I wrote down some notes. So most people don't realize it's easy to screw up and lose thousands or even get banned by not paying attention. So many people move here on tourist visa long term, doing border runs. Are they overstaying? Right? They're not renewing, their tourist visa, or paying sketchy visa agents. Right? Paying sketchy visa agent, this things can cost you a lot of money, land you in a lot of trouble. So I advise you guys to, be safe and do your research and making sure you don't end up being one of these people that make mistakes, because I get it. We're all excited, right? We just buy our tickets, hop on a plane because we heard things from YouTube and how easy, but people don't talk about how they end up finding themselves in serious situations or potentially getting banned for a year or even 5 years. And so suddenly, you find yourself paying fines or having to essentially fly back home to your home country. So you guys need to be, careful with that. So also, as I would like to add, inside our guide, we actually walk through exact visas that can be, useful to you guys, for as like long term, and how to stay here legally, essentially without breaking the bank. So that's very, very important. I would like to touch on. So now let's talk about, the hidden costs that no one tells you about, right? So, people budgeted for rent, food, but didn't expect to pay rent deposits 3 times, visa agents, some people even translation fees, or even emergency flights that I referenced earlier on. So it's very important that we kind of understand what do we need to have that we can be strategic and that we can thrive. So most people say, like hidden expenses, most people forget, right? Far as, first, security deposits, visa fees, agent costs, emergency medical costs, right? People get into emergency situations, whether for themselves, and they're finding like, wow, I now have to come up with all this money, like what I'm going to do, right? Or they find themselves, oh, I'm not comfortable with eating Thai food. I love my Western food and all this stuff, and realize this thing adds up pretty quick. And looking at the end of the month, where all this money go? Or even on electronics. Electronics could be, pretty high. So you could find yourself even extra cost, an extra you could spend an extra $2,000 fast, just like that, in a month. Be careful, be wise, and understand. Now, that's why in the guide, essentially, we kind of broke down everything, like I was just saying, so you're not blindsided. You're being kind of wise about things, So now let's talk about burning through your savings too fast, right? I've seen it over and over and over, people burning through their savings. So most people don't plan, long-term sustainability, right? They come on, if they're lucky, $20,000, and it's gone within less than a year, right? Because depending on the currency and fluctuation, what's that, around $2,000 a month? Which is pretty good to live here on Thailand, but they blew their savings, and then now, what's next? How am I providing for myself? Oh, wow, I have to go back home, which is reversing my whole plan, right? Because I didn't have a plan B. So we create that plan B for you guys, that you can have things set up, whether it's a remote job, etc., or whatever strategies to working here legally, depending on the industry as well. Right? So they start off by spending like it's a vacation, dining out and exploring, meaning like you came here to move, to thrive here, right? But you no longer A tourist, you coming here to live, right? So people are living like they're on vacation or holiday, right? You're blowing through your savings, right? Currency fluctuations also eat into your budget. Keep that in mind, right? And the problem is no income, no plan, and no backup. This is astonishing to me, right? Where it kind of hits me below the belt because I don't hear enough people talking about the realness of it, because I see so many people fail, struggling, and blindsided and hurt that they felt like, I'm a failure now. I have to go back and start over, right? Which is the worst feeling in the world. So this is why this is the perfect time to plan ahead before you just jump into things. Why it's very important to have a plan, right? So essentially the quiz help you, right, to figure out your ideal monthly income. So, we want to figure out a burn rate, right? How much you can burn, what you have in the bank, and your plan, and what kind of budget you need actually to sustain your life, right? Because that looks different for everyone. Everyone has their rich life, what they're comfortable with, your comfortability. So we have to understand that. So now you see how it makes more sense, how we're trying to be, strategic about it. So it's very, very important. Now, thinking Thailand is cheap means you're safe, right? But here's the kicker, right? Thailand is cheaper than the US, but that doesn't mean you can be careless with your money, right? So Thailand is cheap for if you're international, right? But you can easily overspend trying to live your old Western lifestyle, right? Meaning, no shade, but Starbucks, Western groceries, and co-working offices, right? Co-working offices, yes, it can get very, very expensive. Or even overconfidence lead to no emergency, no long-term saving, no long-term plan, to being sad and feeling like a failure, right? So that's why we came up with a plan to educate you guys to doing things, on a more smart, basis. So I would like to kind of, wrap it up with, right? These things no one like to talk about, right? Because we always want to talk about the glitz and the glam, but we don't talk about, we want to make sure we can sustain that for as long as possible until we are ready to expire, right? So we want to be, wise about things. So that's why we were so inspired by creating How to Move to Thailand, to giving you the good, but the bad too, right? And doing things smart. I believe we can live our best rich life, but all we have to do is be strategic, be smart, and understand that we need to have a plan. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Feel free to give a like and subscribe and share this with someone who's potentially looking to move to Thailand full time. And we're going to get you guys here soon as possible, but mostly safe as possible. And like we always say, it's not bye, but is see you soon in the lands of smile.